What is up, Yankees universe? KOD Nation, stand up. And all you Degens who wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to a very sad and sombering episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. I am your host, Hector. Yankees Nation, Yankees fans, the season is over. As the Yankees got swept out of the ALCS by the Houston Astros, we are here. Let's have this therapy session. Shout out to my brother Tats in the chat. Pinstripe Chronicles, what it do, brother? I missed your show this morning. I was just running around, emergency with my dog, but we here, baby. Shout out to my brother Tats. Tats, maybe something we could line up something later on during the week where you could come on here. I go over there and we have a conversation about this. Shout out to my brother Steve Schumann. Good morning, Steve. We are here. And of course, my brother Dr. D, Mr. DiCatrio, is in the building. Hey, D, you guys got it. You guys swept us out the Bronx. One thing I can say that I'm happy about is last night, Yankee fans in Yankee Stadium, they let Rafael Cruz, Mr. Ted Cruz himself, have it. If you guys haven't seen the video of Ted Cruz leaving Yankee Stadium yesterday, it's hilarious. I recommend you watch it. Yeah, seeing Rafael Cruz getting destroyed by Yankee fans, it made me feel better about myself this morning. Good morning, Mr. Eric Wallace. Eric, what a good dog. He said, him sitting behind home plate was gross. Yeah. I don't know, man. Ted Cruz always reminds me of, like, you remember the show Angry Beavers? Ted Cruz reminds me of one of those beavers from the TV show Angry Beavers that used to be on Nickelodeon. Mr. Jonathan is in the building. He says, I don't think Judge returns. Hey, and that's a big point too, because last night possibly was the last game that Aaron Judge played in a Yankees uniform as a Yankee inside Yankee Stadium. Now, if it was up to me, if I'm the Yankees, I'm re-signing Judge. I'm building around Judge. Point blank, period. Earlier this morning, I was just rewatching some of the, last night's post-game stuff, and Judge's post-game conference or his post-game remarks, I'm not sure if anybody heard it, but it seemed like he called out the front office. They asked him about certain moves or certain players, and he said that's a front office thing. They're supposed to do what they have to do to get the players to go onto the field and win, and the players on the field, they just got to perform. So it's kind of a slide, kind of a stab towards the front office. But I don't know, man. It's upsetty spaghetti. I just, what's the post? Let me know what the posts from you guys are. Do you guys want Judge to come back? Because last night, listening to WFAN, right? Listening to WFAN, there was a lot of fans that were calling in that was saying, "Oh, Judge should walk. We should just get rid of him. This, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, really? He should just walk away. Don't even resign him. I don't know, but one thing I know is when it comes to this offseason, certain changes have to happen. When it comes to the front office, certain changes have to happen. Right? Now I'm gonna say this now. DiCatrio, you're in the chat. Tats, you're in the chat. Jonathan's in the chat. Eric Wallace is in the chat. Steve Schumann is in the chat. Let's have this conversation. Now, if we were a failing business, right? If we were, say, a soda company, right, that for 100 years has been a solid brand, an award-winning brand for 100 years, right? Give or take. Let's say 50 years, under the Steinbrenner regime. So let's just say 50 years. If we were a soda company that for 50 years, excellence, won awards, recognized brand, recognized in the world, right? But then for the past 5 to 8 years, since 2015, let's say since 2015, because that's when we played against the Astros for the first time in the ALCS on the postseason, period. But let's say since 2015, right? It's been a rapid decline when it comes to awards, when it comes to productivity, when it comes to workplace safety, workplace regulations. So since 2015, we've been on a decline. Bam, 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 bam. Upper management every year does everything they can to try to make things better. Try to make things better. Get new equipment. Hire new middle management. But still, for 7, 8 years, it's still the same garbage coming out. Maybe, now listen to me, maybe it's not the worker's fault. After 7 or 8 years of the same nonsense and no results, and we're looking like a shadow of our old self, maybe it's not the worker's fault. Maybe it's upper management failing to meet the standards that were put in place beforehand. So with that being said, there has to be changes in the front office. Brian Cashman has been with this team since 1998. In his position, you have to go. Retire. Randy Levine has been in his position since 2003. Retire. Gene Afterman, retire. Scorch earth when it comes to player development. Retire. Kevin Reese, get him out of here. Retire. Agree. It is not the players, it's the leadership. It's upper management that is failing. Upper management is failing the standard that was set in stone for the past 50 years. Frankie Rivera, good morning. He said, good morning, Hector. My opinion, the problem is Cashman and the analytics department philosophy is never going to work as far as winning a series. And I'm going to just keep this highlight there. I see my man Ron is in the chat. I'm going to recognize him in a second, but I just want to keep this right here because that's a very, very, very good point, Frank. When he says the problem is Cashman and the analytics department. Now, we understand the industry now when it comes to Major League Baseball in 2022, they rely heavily on the analytics. But for some reason, the Yankees can't get it right. The Houston Astros, they rely on the analytics. They've been using the analytics. But guess what? They also have Dusty Baker, who's able to use his baseball knowledge with the analytics, combine that together, and produce. So you can have analytics. I could print out spreadsheets all day. We can have analytics. I could print out spreadsheets. But if you don't have the leadership in place to implement certain strategies, implement certain analytics, it's sort of going to go out the window. That's like somebody saying, and I hate to use this analogy because I'm not somebody that likes to do this, but it's like somebody saying, I'm gonna jump on a keto diet, right? But at the same time, I'm gonna be drinking soda. It makes no sense. Steve Schumann says, I'm not sure that Howe has any idea of who to replace Cashman with. Howe selling the team is what really needs to occur with a buyer, a Steve Cohen clone. Listen. Howe has right now, this little window of space right now is when he has to go out there and make the moves that he has to make. I guarantee you there's somebody out there that can replace Brian Cashman. Because for some reason, in the year 2022, Brian Cashman is trying to reinvent the wheel. He's not going with the times. And that has to change. And like I said, shout out to my brother Ron with the Still Knick fans, SKF. If you guys don't want Judge, believe me, my New York Mets would scoop him up. It wasn't Judge's fault. Salute to Project Nerd HQ. Judge hit 068 in the postseason. 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Now, I said I'm willing to build around Judge, but at the same time, I'm holding Judge to a certain standard. 068 in the postseason with only 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. You had an on-base percentage of 118, my guy. 068 batting average with an on-base percentage of 118, that's not getting it done. I'm sorry. That's not getting it done whatsoever. NY Yankee King is in the building. What it do, baby? You're 100% correct. Guy like Dusty Baker, who is allowed to manage and use analytic, is the answer. Yeah. So when it comes to Aaron Boone, now, does Aaron Boone seem like a nice guy? Absolutely. He seems awesome. Seems like I'll be able to play like some Pokemon Go with him. He seems like a really cool guy. I need a leader because we saw it. Maybe I'm just off base. Maybe I'm just off kill. Maybe I'm just not seeing it right. But let me know in the chat if you guys feel the same way I feel. Were players supporting him in that post game conference last night? I didn't hear not one player stand up for Aaron Boone. I didn't hear not one player stand up for Aaron Boone. Not one. Now, let me just make sure my mic is right because last time I had an issue with my mic. I don't want to go on this rant and my audio sounds messed up. Got the chat jumping. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He got cold at the wrong time, but I don't think we should move on him. Oh, no. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to bring him back. I understand Josh Donaldson not having an RBI in his last 12 playoff games. It's a big reason why we lost. I understand. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa developing the yips in the middle of the season wasn't good for us. I understand that, certain injuries when it comes to our bullpen wasn't good for us. Same thing with our lineup, but the injuries cannot be the excuse because the same way the Yankees dealt with injuries, the Houston Astros dealt with injuries. Michael Brantley wasn't there, who's probably their most reliable content hitter in that lineup. He wasn't there because he was injured. And I understand injury. Every team deals with injuries. Now, were there major injuries that the Yankees dealt with? Absolutely. We're going to get to the manager in a second. I see my man NY Yankee King throwing up his Manny Actor 2023 signs already. But then also, what made it even worse is that the playoff tickets, they went from $250 to $20. They were selling tickets for $250. Then automatically the Yankees were down 3-0. Okay, we're going to just sell them for $25. I mean, what kind of message are you sending to your fan base? This is a top-down thing. Everybody, I'm not sure, I can't say everybody, but if not all of us, we all know somebody, or if we heard stories of somebody working at a place where they don't respect the manager, where they don't respect management, where they just walk over the GM. That's what it feels like with the Yankees right now. And I know right now, this is a feeding ground for when it comes to content, for rumors. So there's going to be a lot of rumors going around. There's going to be a lot of videos circulating. King and LeMahieu injuries killed the season. Yes, I agree. But Jonathan, coming into the season, I was worried about DJ LeMahieu because DJ LeMahieu is on the opposite side of 30. And in the offseason, he had a sports hernia surgery. The same type of surgery that zapped the power and the bat out of Nomar Garciaparra, that took his athleticism away. That's the same surgery that DJ had. But thank God that, technology is what it is in 2022 versus back in 2025, 2026. But when it comes to this team, there's a lot of changes that's going to be happening. A lot of changes is going to be happening. Aaron Hicks, bye-bye, gone. Josh Donaldson, sayonara. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, bye-bye. Kyle Higashioka, saludo. I love Jose Trevino, but Jose Trevino, he was tired. Jose Trevino is truly a backup catcher. He's not a number one. We saw it the last month and a half of the season. He got tired down the stretch. When it comes to this lineup, the big, the culprits, I should say, the people who should be held accountable in this lineup, it starts with Aaron Judge. It definitely starts with Aaron Judge. Oh, my brother Jigga Man is in the building. Jigga Man, please help me cry, baby. Oh, I got Matt Prado is in the building. At the end of the day, this falls on Boone. Look at the fielding errors, all because there was no consistency in batting orders. Playing next to and batting behind a different guy every night. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I couldn't say it better. Because Matt, if you're one of these players, right, just put yourself in Harrison Bader's shoes, right? You come into the ballpark, you're expecting to be down on the lineup. Now you're leading off. Did anybody have a conversation the day before or early in that day to let, Harrison Bader know coming into the stadium, hey, you're leading off today? Or are you going to wait 2 or 3 hours before game time to tell him? It makes no sense. What happened against the Cleveland Guardians when it came to Aaron Boone not communicating with Clay Holmes about if he was ready or not makes no sense. That falls on Aaron Boone. Preparation is key, and his preparation was trash. Oh, shout out to my man Christopher Flass is in the building. PCP. I'm trying to figure out what's PCP. Please help me out. Sir Visa, what it do? PCP. I'm trying to figure it out. Help me out because I'm frantic right now. I think for the Yankees to really turn it around, you got to get with the times and go the analytic route. But that's the thing, DiCaprio. The Yankees have been trying that for the past year or so, 2 years. They have gone a very conservative route when it comes to the analytics. But the thing is, you can have analytics all day. Like I said, you could print out the spreadsheets, but if you don't have anybody to interpret the analytics properly, to implement the analytics properly, you can throw that shit out the window. Sorry to curse, but you can throw it out the window. And like Chris said, if it wasn't for Harrison Bader, do we even get past the Cleveland Guardians? Do we? Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. If Harrison Bader wasn't on this team, do we get past the Cleveland Guardians? Let me know. Because I don't think so. My man Carlos is in the building. Carlos, what it do? Salute. Beta has such a punchable face. So does Chaz McCormick. Chaz McCormick has a real good punchable face. He just got swept and embarrassed by Astros, and Cone is talking how if he was managing, he would love to have spin rate numbers on bench. K had just showed how much to and driven. Because listen, Frankie, my man Frankie, listen. And that's why I wanted to get into when it comes to the conversation of the manager. Aaron Boone, you gone. I'm sorry, you gone. Your bench coach is gone also. Luis Rojas, the third base coach, he can stay. Matt Blake, the pitching coach, we definitely bringing him back. But when it comes to this coaching staff, I've been thinking about it all last night. Thought about it all last night. Let me know what you guys think about this. So when it comes to the coaching staff, when it comes to the manager and the bench coach, I want two guys to hold that spot so they could work together. One of them, Frank just brought up, and David Cone, who sits in the yes booth, who understands pitching, who speaks the language of pitchers, and who speaks the language of Matt Blake. If you guys are deep into Yankees universe, David Cone, he's been on several different podcasts and he talks about pitching and he breaks down pitching. So I'm not sure what either manager or bench coach, but I'm just putting two guys out there and you guys help me figure it out who should be the manager and who should be the bench coach and let both of them tag team this. So the first one is David Cone. I want David Cone to be one of those guys to spearhead this. The second guy, he's not in the Yankees organization. The second guy, his brother played for the Yankees. His brother was a part of the Yankees when they won the championship back in 2009. It's not Don Mattingly. Sorry, Jonathan. He does radio for the St. Louis Cardinals. Give me Bengie Molina. I want a combination of Bengie Molina and David Cone to spearhead this Yankee team, to be either the manager or the bench coach. You guys figuring out who's going to have whatever duty. But I want it to be a combination of Bengie Molina and David Cone. Bengie Molina, he understands catching. He understands baseball. He's very knowledgeable. He understands strategy. He understands the analytic part, because back when he was with the San Francisco Giants, they were using it back then when they won the championship. So I want in the future a combination of Bengie Molina and David Cone. And Frankie, why Bengie? I just said it. He's a catcher that understands baseball. He comes from a baseball family. He's a baseball lifer. His knowledge of the game is ridiculous. If you haven't seen interviews with Bengie Molina, I implore you, go ahead. I wouldn't take a chance on Joe Maddon just because of what happened with the Angels, you know. And let's take a step back into memory lane. Joe Torre was hired by the Yankees and won a championship and was was leading the whole dynasty era. Why can't it be Bengie Molina? Now, I'm not sure if you guys are in love with that or not, but I implore you, when it comes to, Bengie Molina, just go out there and look. Go out there, look at his interviews that he's having. And that LA Yankee, keep Joe Maddon the F away from the Yankees. I agree, bro. But the thing is, I always respect it. I respect the hell out of Joe Maddon. Let me put that out there. I'm not laughing. I respect the hell out of Joe Maddon. Joe Espada also, that's a good conversation to have. Joe Espada. But whoever it is, I think we can all agree it cannot be Aaron Boone. I think all of us who are in the chat, who are watching right now, hit that like button as well. If this is your first time, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Because yes, the Yankees season may be over, but the Yankees morning brew, it will continue. It definitely will continue. We'll be having different videos during the off season. When it comes to predictions, free agent, I'll be covering all. Trust me. So the Yankees morning brew is not going anywhere. And that's why I said that the Yankees, they need to, from top down, from the top of the organization, everyone underneath Hal Steinbrenner, you got to go. You just have to go. It's time for a change. Because if you look, when it comes to the Houston Astros, hold on, let me just find this right now. Let me just find this right now. Hold on. Because I literally had it. I just couldn't find it. I had the Yankees organization and the Astros organization, their front offices, how long they've been with them. Just give me 5 seconds so we could deep dive into this. Okay. So, like I said, Brian Cashman has been with the Yankees since 1986. Since 1986, he's been with the Yankees. Bye-bye. Gene Afterman. Right now, she's the assistant general manager, the SVP. She has been with the Yankees since 2001. Bye-bye. Michael Fishman. He is the assistant general manager. He has been with the Yankees since 2005. Bye-bye. Kevin Reese, player development with the Yankees since 2007. Bye-bye. What's this man's name? Don Oppenmeyer, domestic amateur scouting. He has been with the Yankees since 2001. Bye-bye. And then you have Tim Nehring, or however you pronounce his name, but he is the VP of baseball operations. He has been with the Yankees since 2007. You got to change the philosophy. You got to switch it up. These people have been with the Yankees for too long. Hell, Kevin Reese and Tim, they were hired by the Yankees the year I graduated high school in 2007. But then when you look at the Houston Astros, right? Now, I understand the Astros, they went through that scandal and a lot of people had to be fired. But the longest tenured person that's a part of the Astros is in their advanced scouting department. That's Tommy Karamura. He's been with them since 2015. Everyone else, James Click, the general manager, 2020. Andrew Ball, the assistant general manager, 2021. Scott Powers, the assistant general manager, 2022. Hell, Anthony Caraccioni, baseball operations, 2019. Sarah Goodrum, player development, 2022. Do you see the difference? Do you see the young blood that they have in that organization? But no, Brian Cashman was hired by the Yankees, and he's been with the Yankees since 1986. I was born in 1989, and Brian Cashman has been with this team since 1986. I'm going to say that again. I was born in 1989, and Brian Cashman has been with the Yankees since 1986. It's time to retire, brother. See, that's the interesting part. I would take the interview with Posada, because the thing about Posada, he didn't become a catcher until he was in the Yankees minor league system. He was an infielder. He was a second baseman, actually, when the Yankees signed him out of Puerto Rico when he was young. But that would be interesting as well. I always loved Jorge Posada, and he does have a great baseball mind when it comes to the sport. It's just he cannot stand Alex Rodriguez. He makes that known. He literally cannot stand Alex Rodriguez. How you feel about CC being a coach? CC, he has that passion, he has that fire. I'm not sure if CC wants that. That's the thing. CC, he has a great thing going on with Ryan Rucco and the podcast, and the Player Tribune, everything he's doing with Derek Jeter and the Player Tribune. So I'm not sure if CC would even want that. He's very comfortable in his setup right now. Okay, let me see. Let me just go back up. I'm not sure if it's official, just because you got to wait till the off season, before you got to wait till after the World Series before you could make anything official, but Espada, that would be a good choice though. Just like Frankie said, Espada, good idea. If you can't beat him, have him join you. Espada is the Astros bench coach. Yeah, I agree. He's a good baseball mind also. See. What if AJ Hinch gets fired from the Tigers? He was a part of that Astro scandal. I'm staying away from him. And trust me, people know how much I love Carlos Beltran, and I'm staying away from Carlos Beltran because of what happened in Houston, because of that bad taste in your mouth. I'm staying away from Beltran also. I think Beltran would be a phenomenal manager, but not on our team. You could go manage the Oakland A's, brother. You be good in Oakland. Trust me, you be good in Oakland. Did AJ Hinch was fired? That I seen some of you mention before. There hasn't been anything official when it comes to AJ Hinch being fired. They're saying potentially if he was to get fired. Oh, Mark Anthony, Mr. Mark Anthony. Good morning. Yankees need to replace all of the coaching staff, particularly Boone and Blake. Blake may be good with mechanics or put him in player development, but he did nothing about their mindset. I would keep Matt Blake. I would keep Matt Blake just because of Matt Blake. When it comes to pitching, he's phenomenal. I agree with you. He's more mechanic wise, mindset wise. I'm not sure. I think he needs to get around people who are, when it comes to the baseball mindset. That's why I think having Matt Blake paired up with David Cone has that experience and he knows pitching. Let Matt Blake and David Cone combat that. Let them go 1-2 and let them combat that. I think having a combination of David Cone and Matt Blake on the coaching staff would be awesome, would be phenomenal. And like I said, throwing Benji Molina, I'm telling you, that would not be a bad combination. Benji Molina, an offensive catcher, he almost won the MVP, almost identical to Joe Torre. Wasn't as good offensively as Joe Torre, but I'm just saying it's that same type of formula. Please don't butcher me for saying that. Please don't beat me up. Let's see. Espada was the Yankees third base coach before joining the Astros. Yep. How about Jeter as GM? I think above the GM. I think Jeter's going to take Randy Levine's job, if I'm not mistaken. I would have, the president of operations is Randy Levine. I think Derek Jeter would wind up taking Randy Levine's job. I'll be happy with that. That way, Derek Jeter could groom whatever GM he has in the weights, whether it's somebody he had with Miami or somebody that he knows personally. Yeah. When it comes to didn't command respect, but that falls more on Aaron Boone setting the tone. If my general manager doesn't have respect, right? If I work at a Wendy's or something, right, Mark, and my general manager he gets no respect from any of the workers, why the hell am I going to respect the daytime manager, right? Why would I respect the nighttime manager? If my general manager gets no respect from me, why would I respect the daytime or the nighttime manager? But yeah, I agree with you when it comes to with that. Yeah, he gives me the creeps too, Frank. Randy Levine, he definitely gives me the creep. He gives me the feeling like he's a villain in like a Minions movie or something. Yeah. Yeah, Randy Levine definitely gives me the creeps. He gives me he's like a generic clown. That's the face because I'm petrified of clowns, and Randy Levine has the generic Bozo the clown face. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. But let's take a deep dive into these stats because yes, we have to take a deep dive into the stats. Let me take a breath. Woosa. In for 6, out for 4. No, in for 4 and out for 6. There we go, Mark. Bingo. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Blake needs that baseball mind that actually, was a pitcher like David Cone to help him fine tune his baseball knowledge. Because Matt Blake, he has a lot of knowledge, but he needs somebody to help him fine tune and center where he could focus that on. It's like if you're trying to do a task and you do the task and you try to do 20 things at once, but you can only do them to 20% capacity satisfaction. Focus on one or two things and complete that to 80 to 90% satisfaction, if you understand what I'm saying. But over to the stats, and let's look at the Yankees. Like I said, Aaron Judge, 068 in the playoffs. Super disappointed. But Harrison Bader showing out. Harrison Bader was 3 for 5. He completed his postseason by hitting 345 with 5 home runs. Like I said, where would we have been in the series against the Cleveland Guardians if it wasn't for Harrison Bader? Do we even make it past the Guardians? I'm not sure. But Harrison Bader was 3 for 5. Aaron Judge in right field was 0 for 4. Anthony Rizzo showed up. Anthony Rizzo was was at first base. He was 2 for 3. Giancarlo Stanton showed up. He was a DH, 1 for 4. Gleyber Torres, he probably got a couple hits in the game, but he was 2 for 4. Josh Donaldson, 0 for 4. Oswald Cabrera, 0 for 4. Isaiah Kiner left for 1 for 3. Jose Trevino, 0 for 4. And this right here is what hurt us. The bottom half. Yes, I understand Judge going 0 for 4. But when you got the Houston Astros bottom half of the lineup outperforming the Yankees bottom half of the lineup, you're not going to win many games. You're just not going to win many games. Then you got Nestor Cortez. He only went 2 innings. He had a groin. He pulled his groin. This right here was on Aaron Boone. You should have took him out. When you came out 3 times to ask him, was he okay? You should have took him out the second time you came out. Point blank, period. But Nestor Cortez, he pitched 2 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Wandy Peralta, 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Jonathan Lasagna pitched 2 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 1 strikeout. And Clay Holmes pitched 2 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. The losing pitcher was Jonathan Lasagna. He said, "Whoa, I'm surprised my favorite Yankee fan Caputo isn't here pumped in his chest." Caputo is somewhere. He's somewhere stabbing a little door. That's where Caputo's at. But I hope Caputo's good. Shout out to my brother Caputo. There was something in the chat that I wanted to point out. What do you think about Paul O'Neill coaching? I would love to see it because I would love to see whenever like the coaches they get on the umpires. I just want to see Paul O'Neill throw a water cooler at an umpire in 2023. Let's get Paul O'Neill in the dugout so he could throw a water cooler at an umpire in 2023. Another injury that hurt the Yankees was Luis Hill. Yeah, that kid was phenomenal for us last year, and we missed him. You are absolutely right, Jonathan. And we're not gonna have him for the entirety of 2023. So you'll see him in 2024. What about Andy Pettitte for pitching coach? I would say, higher when it comes to Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada, even Mariano Rivera, hire them as special instructors, right? Bring them for spring training for special instructors. That's what we need. This past spring training, did we have any of our old timers be special instructors? Reggie Jackson was there for a little bit. But where's our old time Yankees, our greats, who are special instructors? I remember back when I was young, when I was in high school watching the Yankees, you had Whitey Ford out there, you had Yogi Berra out there. Granted, they were old, but they were still there. The presence was still there. The tradition of being a Yankee was still there. In 2022 in spring training, none of that was there. Oh, son, what just white on the screen? What just happened? Hold on. Sorry about that. I think that was the ghost of Yogi Berra telling me to shut up. But let's look into the Astros stats. Yes, Reggie was with Houston this spring training. That's why I said he was with the Yankees for like at the beginning, but he was with Houston. He was with Oakland. He was making multiple stops. He was with the Angels for a couple of days. Jesus Christ. But over to the Astros side of thing, Jose Altuve, the second baseman, he finally started hitting because, why not? Why not? Why not Altuve starts hitting? But he was 2 for 4. Jeremy Pena, the 25-year-old rookie shortstop, he just became a star in this postseason. He became, especially in this ALCS, but he was 2 for 4. Yordan Alvarez, the left fielder, was 2 for 4. Alex Bregman, the villain, the third baseman, was 1 for 4. Kyle Tucker, the right fielder, was 1 for 3. Yuris Gurriel, the first baseman, was 1 for 4. Trey Mancini, the former Baltimore Oriole, was 0 for 4. Chas McCormick in center field was 0 for 4. And Moti Maldonado was 0 for 3. Lance McCullers Jr., the starting pitcher for the Astros, he pitched 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. The Rays, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, 1 strikeouts. Brian Abreu, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeouts. Rafael Montero, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeouts. And then Ryan Presley to close it out. He pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. The winning pitcher was Neris, and Ryan Presley, his third save of the postseason. Bang those cans, Stros. Absolutely. Yep. And like L.I. Yankee King said, not a single legend was there at Yankee spring training. Agree. Hector, I was laughing here a few minutes ago when you said what's happening here. I'm like, don't tell me I'm about to log out because never that. We got a troll. We got a troll in the chat. Bye-bye. No time for trolls. But you're doing something good if you got the sex trolls jumping into the chat. So good to see that. I'm really excited for next year. Our 2 rookies were killers out there. I love their energy. They both look like future stars. Absolutely, Mark. And that's what frustrated me last night because I'm listening to the post game, right, with Sweeney Murdy, with Susan Waldman. And I love Sweeney, right? I've known Sweeney as a Yankee beat writer since I was a kid in high school. I don't know him personally, not personally, but he's been the Yankee beat writer since I've been in high school. So, AM New York, whether it's the Daily News, the New York Post. My high school had a program that we got the Daily News every day, and one thing I did every morning was grab the Daily News and read Sweeney Murdy's articles. So Sweeney Murdy has been the voice of the Yankees when it comes to either the radio, the newspaper, regardless. But when it comes to Sweeney Murdy last night and Susan Waldman, when they tried to defend Aaron Boone and said, oh, well, if Aaron Boone gets fired, he'll get hired in 5 minutes. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Oh, bye. Let him go get hired someplace else. Bye. I'm tired of that sorry ass lame duck excuse. Oh, well, if he gets let go by the Yankees, he'd be hired in 5 minutes. Okay, go ahead. Bye. Go get hired by somebody else. Go ahead. Go to Kansas City. Go to Cincinnati, where your family is from. Go ahead. I don't care. Same thing with Brian Cashman. Oh, well, who will the Yankees hire? Hal Steinbrenner, as much as I, beat up on Hal Steinbrenner for just loving his horses and the Hamptons and spending majority of his time in the Hamptons and not being in the owner's box like George Steinbrenner, as much as I give Hal that type of like slack, one thing about Hal is he's a good businessman. If he fires somebody because they couldn't do their job, he's going to go out there and hire the right person. Now, I'm going to take this next week to do a deep dive. I'm going to check out different organizations. I'm going to be pulling up people's resumes who I think should replace Brian Cashman. Because people, oh, well, so who are you going to replace him with? Okay, cool. If you're telling me that's the answer you're going to give me, copy. You know why? Because I am a psychopath. When it comes to looking things up, I will find the person. Trust me, give me a week and I will find that person. Hell, I will even find that person's MySpace page. That's how much of a weirdo I am. Be Civilized is in the building. What it do? He said, heck, hope all is well, my friend. It was just not enough hits to win against the Astros. Back to the drawing board. Absolutely, bro. Be Civilized. What it do, baby? Hey, we got some basketball stuff coming up. Be Civilized. So stay tuned to the Nights of DJ. We got some pretty things coming up within the next week. Marky says, well, yeah, Altuve will be key in World Series victory. And yes, Pena was amazing. He is clutch big time. Yeah. They say that, every postseason or every other postseason, a star is born. This postseason, Jeremy Pena, his star is burning bright in the sky. Point blank, period. They said the same thing for Girardi. How has that worked out for him? Absolutely. And that's the thing. Joe Girardi, right? After winning a championship, I understand it was 2009, right? But he won 91 games with a team that was expected to finish in 4th place. And what did they do? They fired him. They better do the same thing with Aaron Boone this offseason. Shout out to my guy G Money is in the building. G Money, hope all is well, my brother. Getting ready for this next season. Oh, yeah. I know I'm ready for it. A lot of social medias are suggesting Jeter as GM. Like I said earlier, Jonathan, I think Jeter, he's going to go for Randy Levine's job. He wants to be the president. I don't think he just wants to be the general manager. I think he wants to be the president, and I think Jeter wants to hire his own GM, somebody that he may know from back in the days of Miami. Hell, if it's that GM that's with Miami right now that gave Brian Cashman the boom when it came to the Pablo Lopez deal, I'll take her, guaranteed. I forgot Girardi got fired in May. Yeah. It's pretty disgusting that the hitters were inconsistent for most of the playoffs. Listen, it was. The Yankees collectively, they had a batting average below 168 as a team. You're not going to win. You're not going to win any playoff series if collectively as a team you're hitting below 168. Aaron Judge had a phenomenal season. Probably had the best offensive season in baseball history. But Aaron Judge cost him millions of dollars because of his struggles in the postseason. Again, I'm going to say this again. Aaron Judge hit 068 with only 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and a 118 on-base percentage. Judge, you are our number 1 culprit in that lineup. This team doesn't go if you don't go. Was it awesome to get a couple of home runs from Anthony Rizzo? Absolutely. Was it awesome to get, see Giancarlo Stanton be healthy and him do damage? Absolutely. Was it great to see Harrison Beta? It definitely was. But all of that doesn't mean a damn thing. Caught myself there. Doesn't mean a damn thing if Aaron Judge is not being Aaron Judge. Market markups, what it do? First time seeing you in the chat. Hope all is well. Hit them thumbs up for your boys. Seeing those batting averages on the Jumbotron last night was painful. Oh my God. Yes. Especially Josh Donaldson. Someone he knows as GM. Oh, good. Not. That's funny, E. That's funny, Eric. I don't think Alex Rodriguez will get a job as a GM. Let's be real. Oh man, but yeah, it's disappointing. Let's look up these batting. Let's look up these stats. Let's look up these postseason stats for these players. Right. So we got Aaron Judge already put in him. Josh Donaldson stats. Josh Donaldson in the postseason, he hit 077 with 0 home runs and 0 RBIs. That was Josh Donaldson. Gleyber Torres hit 200 this entire postseason. 200. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Now, this is the kicker. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he hit 286. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa hit 286. That's hilarious. Jose Trevino, our amigo. And this postseason, he hit 091. I'm going to say that again. He hit 091 in this postseason. Now, I loved Jose Trevino, what he did this season. Trust me. Jose Trevino was phenomenal this season. He was an all-star for us. He shored up our pitching staff. We needed that type of catcher behind the plate. Offensively, we didn't get a damn thing out of him. That IKF and Donaldson trade turned out to be awful. It turned out to be god-awful. $26 million on a guy that hit 077 in the postseason. Josh Donaldson, $20 million. Josh Donaldson better not be back next year with the Yankees. Point blank. He better not be back with the Yankees. I'm sorry. There's no way that Josh Donaldson can't come back with the Yankees. The way Bader was hitting, I desperately wanted to have Bader the kicks the Astro. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted that also. And then, the icing on the cake when it comes to like utter embarrassment was the fact that some big brain bozo decided to, you know what? I'm going to circulate the 2004 ALCS highlights when the Red Sox came back against the Yankees to give this team some motivation. Huh? You did what? You decided to circulate highlights from the Boston Red Sox from 2004 to help motivate the team? What are we doing? Who decided? The person who decided to do that literally needs to get fired. The director of, mental, whatever position he got, have that man for next season serving beers in Yankee Stadium. The cat dog, that was fun. That was embarrassing, bro. That was embarrassing. That's your motivation? You couldn't get Aaron Boone to hype these guys up. Your motivation had to be highlights of the Boston Red Sox. My man Marky Mark says, I think Judge will be fine in the future postseason. He just went into a slump at the wrong time. Bad luck. Yeah, and like you said at the end, Boone's leadership skills or lack of leadership skills, they don't help nobody's drive at all. Wash Donaldson, that is a great name. Mark, I'm putting that on a t-shirt. You got to send me your address so I can send you to that. Wash Donaldson has to go. That's hilarious, Mark. we can get a lot of washed up sluggers to play good defense and not hit. Horrible. Wash was an automatic out the entire season. And that's why last night, Sweeney Murdy, that's why I brought up Sweeney Murdy. He said, oh, well, who else you going to have in that situation? Anybody but Josh Donaldson. Anybody but Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson is an aged veteran. He's old. He don't got the giddy up anymore. He can't turn around that fastball. Josh Donaldson, this entire season, right? He was stuck between the 96 mile per hour fastball and the 80 mile per hour curveball. He was stuck in between both those pitches. He couldn't hit the fastball that was 96 plus, and anytime you threw a curveball at him that was 80 miles per hour, he was rolling it over because he was just too ahead. And then for when they came, and I didn't speak about this, but when they came out with like the Gold Glove finalists for the Major League season, the fact that Aaron Boone said out of his mouth that IKF should have been one of the 3 finalists for the Gold Glove at short. What? IKF should have been a finalist for the Gold Glove. What? I'm going to sound like Soulja Boy. Drake? What? IKF Gold Glove? What? The fact that came out of that man's mouth. If I was Hal Steinbrenner and I heard that man said that, I would have jumped on one of my little ponies, would have drove it to Yankee Stadium, and I would have fired him right then on the spot. The fact that he said IKF should have been one of the finalists for the Gold Glove at shortstop. What? I appreciate everybody who allowed me to rant this morning because I needed to get this off my chest. And yes, put IKF at third base, the position he actually won a Gold Glove. And Peraza at shortstop. The fact that Peraza only started 1 game in the ALCS is mind-blowing. It's bonkers. Unless you know that this kid is an automatic out, you're not going to start him. But guess what? In limited time, he hit over 300. Let me take this out right now. In the regular season, he got 49 at-bats. In those 49 at-bats, he hit 306. I'm going to say that again. Peraza, and basically 50 at-bats at the major league level, he hit 306. Why aren't you starting him at shortstop? Look at what the Astros did with Jeremy Pena. And the crazy thing about it is that Jeremy Pena coming into the season, he wasn't even a top rank. He wasn't even top 3 in the Astro system. This is the same thing with Peraza. Bro, this is annoying. That was crazy to bring up Yankees disaster to motivate them. You're right. It's unreal, bro. It's unreal. Sir Visit said, so who you rooting for in the World Series? Oh, silly question. Not silly. No, there's never a silly question, and there's never a dumb question. The only questions that are silly and dumb are the questions that are from my friend Michael Caputo. Those are the only questions that are silly and dumb. But shout out to my bro Michael Caputo. I hope he's somewhere in Long Island punching holes through walls so he could take out our frustrations, right? But when it comes to who am I rooting for, I'm gonna be rooting for the Phillies, hands down. I'm about to go buy me one of those dumbass green mascot suits, for the Philadelphia Phillies. Their mascot, I forgot the name of it. If you guys could put the mascot's name into the chat so I could go out there and be ready. And DiCaprio, it would never happen when we switch into Astros Morning Brew for the Red. Never. But yeah, I'll be rooting for the Phillies. Hector the Fanatic. There you go. The Philly Fanatic. I will be getting my Philly Fanatic mascot suit, and I will be on, fully supporting the Philadelphia Phillies. against the horrible Houston Astros. But shout out to my boy Dr. D. Listen, the Catrio, they won, brother. That's all that matters. You guys were the better team, and you guys have been. And what makes it worse is the fact that Pedro Martinez is on TV saying, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" It's embarrassing. The Yankees are a joke right now. We got swept by the Houston Astros. They literally had brooms while celebrating inside of Yankee Stadium. And for people who don't know me, when I get upset or like I get very angry, that laugh is a very awkward laugh. That's my laugh when I'm angry and sad. Like that little awkward laugh. Oh man. Jesus Christ. But one thing I could say is that no matter what happened, I am happy on the outcome, not of this season, but of this show and the community that we have built with the Yankees Morning Brew. I want to take a shout out, Sir Visa. Appreciate you. You've came on. You've been constant in the chat. Same thing like LI Yankee King. I appreciate LI Yankee King. He's come on to the open panels. Same thing with my man Steve Schumann. Steve Schumann with his knowledge from back in the day. I loved having that conversation with Steve. Steve, we're going to have a bunch of conversation this offseason. Guarantee you that, Steve. I guarantee you that. We'll definitely have you back on the panel to have a conversation. But as well, Chris the Flash, my man Chris. I met a new friend when it came to Tats and I. That's my uncle right now. You know, sorry, Tats, you can't get rid of me. That's Uncle Tats. Market makeup as well. And the bond that I've grown with the Catrio, you know, joining the Knights of Dejan, everybody just welcomed me with open arms. DiCatrio, one of those guys that opened me with welcome arms. Mark Anthony as well. Mark Anthony came over. I think he came over from Simonetti and the guys over there at NY News. I appreciate meeting different Yankee content creators, having conversations with Pete, somebody that I watched over the years. Same thing with Jason from 161 River Ave, Derek from NYY Recaps. Those are three guys when it comes to content creators that I've watched over the years, and to be able to have them on the show, it was awesome. It was a great feeling. Like I said, Chris the Flash doing play-by-play with Chris and my brother Kev from BX Sports Jedi. This season was awesome. Jonathan as well, meeting Jonathan, James Cook in the chat, Eric Wallace, he's a diehard Seattle Mariners fan, but he's constant in the chat as well. Carlos as well. James Cook, like I said earlier. If there's anybody that I mentioned, I apologize, but I just want to say I appreciate you all for being a part of this and helping it grow. It means a lot. Honestly, it means a lot. As a kid who grew up always being the quiet kid in school, it means a lot that you guys welcome me with open arms and you guys are constant in the chat. This is not going to be sad. Trust me. Frankie Rivera as well. Frankie, I appreciate you. Just know that the Yankees Morning Brew, the season may be over, but we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to still be coming with content in the off season. I'm going to have different panel shows with different content creators. I'm going to try to get different content creators that I haven't reached out to. But as well, being able to interview Jerry Ferrara, that was an awesome interview. I grew up watching Entourage, and like I told Jerry, his character on that show, I felt it. I felt seen because that was me in high school. You know, Scott Braun from the MLB Network, Rich Antonoli from Complex, you know, Eric Hubbs from Barstools. There was a lot of people who came on. My friend, I met two new friends when it came to Nathan and the NNR hour, you know. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody. This has been an awesome season of the Yankees Morning Brew. We made it to episode 93. This is episode 93 of the Yankees Morning Brew. You know, shout out to guys who've helped me over the summer when it comes to my man Frankie, who's in college right now. Frankie, you know, one of the first co-hosts that I had on this show. Shout out to my brother Frankie, and as well Halal from Backstage Baseball. Halal, who I call Baby Michael K. You know, he's going to be helping me next season for season 2. But I appreciate you all. Just know that the Morning Brew will continue, and the Morning Brew crew, just like my man Tat said, it's a solid crew we got over here with the Morning Brew. I appreciate you all. This has been another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. We will be back. I am your host, Hector. And like always, peace, love, sports, and wrestling, baby. And we out.
Center.